What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Thanks for watching. Today is another episode of weight reduction on the 135. I'm going to be swapping out this big heavy stock battery for a much smaller, much lighter version, and I'm going to show you guys from start to finish how to do that, how to properly code and register it, and show you guys exactly how much weight we're saving by doing this swap. First of all, it's important to note that you can't just grab a smaller battery and put it in this spot. You're going to need a battery enclosure. So I went ahead and ordered this Mach Schnell battery enclosure here. It comes completely disassembled, so I will figure out how to assemble this and show you guys that, and then we'll be able to mount this much smaller battery in the same location without it rocking around all over the place. Now, all the available battery enclosures on the market call for a Braille battery, and I didn't want to spend that kind of cash. I like good value stuff, so I did some digging and found that these Deca batteries are actually just basically rebranded Braille batteries. They're the same exact size. You'll see it fits perfectly in here, and it comes at a much cheaper price. This was like $90 versus the Braille battery being $200 some. So this is the 17-pound unit. You might want more or less depending on how often you drive the car, how much weight savings you want. It's the ETX16L. I'll link everything down below in the description, the battery, the enclosure, everything you need. And the only downside is the Deca doesn't come with the proper terminal mounts. It's meant for a motorsport or some other type of battery with much smaller connectors. So I picked this up on eBay. I'll link this in the description as well, but basically it'll just mount right onto those posts, and that way we can reuse all the same factory connections. So I'm into this much less than a normal Braille battery conversion would be, and I just hope this thing holds up. It should. They have good reviews. So let's go ahead and get started. Step number one for me is going to be to mount these terminals. So I'm going to pop off that red cap, and this is just a screw with a washer, and we're going to go ahead and insert it into that mounting tab. This is a 5mm Allen, so I'm simply just going to tighten that down. Oh boy, getting a little rowdy. And do the same thing on this side. So now these are both tight and ready to rock. I just got to remember this is the positive side. You'll see a marker here. So the next step is to take the stock battery out. To do this, I'm going to first remove this bracket here. It's a 10mm. Take both nuts off, and this just comes right off. And now this is another 10mm. I'm going to loosen up that connection, disconnect that there, the ground, kind of move this out of the way. After the negative post is removed, we'll open up this flap back here. And here's another 10mm for the positive. Loosen that just a little bit. Now we can unclip this from both sides like so. Kind of take that off the post there. And kind of move that out of the way for now. And to take the battery out, we'll need a long extension with a 10mm on it. And that'll be going right down in here. Loosening up the battery hold down. So now with that loose, this heavy sucker should come right out. Remove the vent from the back. Oh man, that is one heavy sucker. So since I got a scale out here, I'm gonna go ahead and weigh this mammoth of a stock battery. See what she comes in at. 58.4. Wow, that's heavy. I just weighed the small battery, and that came in at 16.8. So that's about a 40-pound savings. That's crazy. And since I've got the scale out, I'm gonna go ahead and weigh the battery enclosure components quick. Okay, I saw about, it's probably too light to even register on this scale, but it looks like about 2.5 6 pounds. It went 2.4, 2.8, 2.4. Yeah, I'm gonna guess 2.5 pounds or so. So this is really light. I'm not too worried about this weight. Overall, it's still like a 40-pound savings, which is huge. You guys should know I'm a little bit OCD by now, and every little bit counts. So I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum out the crumbs that are all in here real quick. Now we have to get this battery enclosure thing assembled, and I will say it looks really nice quality. Everything is like precision machined. It's got awesome hardware. These are tapered fittings here, so it's just a flush fitment. Everything's really high quality, so I think this is an awesome kit for the price. But let's go ahead and get started here. The first step is putting both of these side pieces in, just like so, and there's 4 screws here that we will be using. These are 2.5mm Allen heads. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this tightened down, and then we'll move on to the second step. With the 2 arms attached, we can go ahead and now insert these posts, one on each side here. These just tighten down. So I'll go ahead and do that. One on this side. I believe these are 5mm Allens. So I'll get those started here. Just like so. We can flip it back over and put in our 5mm Allen head. Get those nice and tight. Like so. Now we can mount the battery indicator to the cross strap here, and this is with another supplied screw. This is a 3mm Allen head, so we can just put that on tighten. That would help. Put this on tighten, get that nice and tight on there. Now we can throw the battery in and just make sure we're putting the battery in the same direction that we put on the label. And now, the 5mm Allen head again. We can tighten down this cross strap. Should be ready to bolt down into the car now. Now I forgot to hit the record button, but all I did was take that assembled battery enclosure, drop it down in the same spot. I threw on the positive battery assembly here and the ground. Now I just need to finish tightening down that extension in the 10mm. I need to tighten down the enclosure. So that'll do it. And now I need to tighten down all of the positive and negative cables here. I don't recommend doing this with an impact, but I'm just being very careful here. Also because I know the limits of my impact. This is just some cheap frickin' Harbor Freight thing that's almost dead, so that'll be tight enough. We can go ahead and close that, and everything should be good. I'm just gonna tuck my fuel pump wiring away here. I'm gonna go ahead and try and start up the car, make sure this is functioning as it should. But this thing is in there. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It fit perfectly. I'm really happy with it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try and start the car just to make sure the battery functions as it should before I register and code it. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, she started just fine, which is a great sign. Like I said, it's time to register and code the battery. This is a very important part of this process. And to do this, we will take a K-decan cable, plug it in over here, and then we will turn the car into the on position, but we are not starting it. And And then I'm going to go ahead and connect the tablet here. I will again link all of the tools and parts that I've used down below. And we're going to go ahead and open up the Bimmer Geeks Pro Tools app. That's going to look a little bit like this. We're using a hard connection. I'll go ahead and connect to the vehicle. Okay. So now that I've verified that the car starts like it should, it's important that we register and code the battery. If we don't do this, the car will automatically charge it thinking it's the old battery, using the old battery's amperage and life remaining and all that sort of stuff, and we don't want that. It's not good for your car. So it's important that we do this. I'm using a K-Decan cable that's connected to my OBD2 port, and I'm using the Bimmer Geeks Pro Tool app. This is really simple to do. We're going to head over to Drivetrain, Engine, and then down here we're going to click Functions and Battery Swap. To do this, it's important that you know the battery's specs, and basically all you need to know is the AH rating and whether it's a standard or AGM battery. Now, the type of battery I just swapped in is so small that it's not even on this list. So I think it's safe to say that we can go ahead and select the smallest amperage. I googled the specs of this battery, and it is an AGM battery. And if this loads here, it is a 19 AH rating, which is much lower than the 40 AH available. But again, this is a lot better because the standard battery is a lot higher. So I'm going to select 40 AH AGM, confirm, because this is an AGM battery, not a standard battery, and it's literally that simple. So I just coded that just like you saw there. That's all you have to do, and we should be good to go from here on out. Now that we've registered and coded the battery, I do want to say it's also important that you get a trickle charger of some kind. Because this battery is so small, it won't hold a charge as good or as long as the full-size battery. But this is not my daily driver. I would trust it to drive with this battery, but if you're going to be parked for more than just a couple days, I would just hook up a trickle charger to the positive and negative, plug that in, and just let this thing keep it charged and keep it healthy. Overall, this is a great bang for your buck mod. The battery itself with the conversion posts is $100 total or less, and the battery enclosure from Mock Schnell is $99. So for about $200 or less, you're going to save yourself around 40 pounds, which is a huge cost per pound savings. Honestly, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. So if you guys are on a mission to go on a diet like I am with the 135 to make it fast without actually adding power, stay tuned because I have a lot more videos. I'm going to do a complete total of every mod and every pound I've taken out of the car and show you guys where it weighs at the end and how I got it here. So smash that subscribe button, like this video if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.